What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Okay, I want to talk about nodes because there's nothing else to talk about these days. I mean, there's so much going on, but I made this little this chart for myself, and I thought it'd be worth sharing with you guys in case anybody was interested. Now, I guess I just off the bat need to say that again, none of this is financial advice. It's a meme at this point. But really, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just sharing the numbers with you. So you can decide and do your own research and decide how you want to deploy your capital. For me, what's interesting, and I'll show this to you with the numbers. What's interesting is that at Tranche 2, it's still not terrible. And I would say don't buy right from the store at Tranche 2. So let's actually jump into some of the numbers here, okay? And ignore this part. This is the tower defense thing I shared with you previously. So if you look at Tranche 2, at current prices, with SPS at roughly 6.5 cents, and then voucher prices at 55 cents, you would be getting, if you bought it from the store for $27.75 in US dollars, you'd be getting a 48% return. And if SPS dropped all the way down to 4 cents, and vouchers will probably do the same, but we'll take a look at that in a second. You'll be getting a 48% return on average, I guess. Now, I would not recommend buying from the store. I would recommend getting something off of Hive Engine because the floor price, and I use that term loosely, but floor price is like the last one that I saw sold, went for roughly $2,100. And that's going to get you a 64% return because obviously you're spending $600 less on your node license. Now, I do have Tranche 1 here, and I just put 2,000. I'm sure people were able to get it for less than 2,000 in some instances, but it was like 1,500 plus the 500 vouchers, and vouchers really just touched $1 for like a second, and then kind of went back down. So I would assume everybody got it at or below the 2,000 mark. So you can see kind of just for reference what that would be. So obviously I have this put out through Tranche 3 all the way to Tranche 7, and we're way too far away from that to even be thinking about it, but I just built this out because I wanted to have something that I could reference back in like 6 months or so. So essentially what I'm trying to look at is, okay, worst case scenario, what happens if we hit like major bear market territory, right? Bitcoin does another leg down. We get to like the low teens, and we see SPS drop down to like 4 cents, which is less than half. That's like more than a 50% drop from its recent high. And we've been down there before. I think we got to like 4.3 cents. And then along with that, we can change the voucher price to like be 30-ish cents, which is where I think like the recent low was, or it was in the low 30s. And what you'll see here is if you were to buy at the floor price, right, at around 2,100, or, I mean, I've seen even some go for like 2,000 right now. So that'd be like Tranche 1 pricing. So if you can get them off the secondary market, you would still be making, right, at a 4 cent SPS and at 4 cent SPS and 30 cent voucher prices, you'd still be making 38%. Now, is that good? Is that bad? Again, it's up to you. If you look at Tranche 2, and you were to buy directly from the store, maybe nothing else is available, you would still be getting a 28 or 29% return on nodes. Now, people are going to look at this and be like, yo, why would I do that? Like, for example, SPS is paying over 30% right now. Some of the liquidity pools are paying, very high amounts. What's the appeal of nodes? And I would tell you that you're right. Some of the other places are paying a lot more. The thing that I like about nodes, and I've said this before, is that there is a built-in mechanism for limited downside protection, right? Or downside volatility, because it's limited. And one of the drawbacks is the fact that you don't have a lot of liquidity because you'd have to sell a full node. You can't sell a partial node or sell just like a portion of a stack of coins. But it is limited in the sense where, okay, if you were to sell, I'm sure if you were to sell one of your nodes, if you had one right now for 2,000 or even under 2,000, somebody would jump at it, right? Because that's much cheaper than the going price in Tranche 2. And I think that's probably what's happening right now, why we're seeing the floor price so low. But as people who want to invest in these long term start to grab them and hold them, I think that liquidity is going to dry up, and then that's going to force people to have to go for the Tranche 2 from the store, right? But that might take some time. That could take days, weeks, months, who knows how long. And obviously the market is going to impact that. but they also have limited upside ability, right? So something like SPS, and again, I'm not saying that SPS will go to $1. I'm just saying that it was there before, and if we have another bull run, maybe it does go back up there again. I mean, that's almost like a 20x, and you're not really going to see a 20x from node licenses. So there's a limited upside, but there's also limited downside protection as well. And that's what I like about nodes, and that's why I went heavy on them. So just sharing these numbers with you as we go along, and like I said, we could play with these, and obviously I've tweaked this out. So even if, like, let's say it gets really bad, right? So like we get 10-cent vouchers and maybe 2-cent SPS. What would this look like? Well, for those who bought in Tranche 1, you're still earning 15%, which is like equivalent to the S&P 500, and it's still beating inflation, right? And then Tranche 2, you're getting 12%. So, again, is it good? Am I telling you to ape into these things? Absolutely not. I am just saying that I'm just sharing the numbers with you, and once again reiterating the fact that I like the limited downside protection on it. So I'm not planning on getting any more nodes at this point in time, mainly because I don't have the capital to put into it. But it might be something where I start setting aside vouchers, or I start setting aside capital to buy into another one at some point in the future. If, for example, the floor price, I find one on the secondary market that looks good, or if SPS does go up, then maybe I grab another one while SPS is up, because the value of SPS, or it'll be cheaper in SPS. And I am still staking a good portion of SPS as well. So maybe I would convert some of that over into a node to help with the downside volatility. But that's just me, and I'm just sharing my thoughts on what I would potentially do. So not advice. But that is all I really got for you in this video. I am curious to know who out there is still looking to get a node, and what are you waiting for? What would be your buy signal? Because like I said, I think that these still have a good value, and we've seen a lot of market volume on the secondary markets. But I think once that does start to dry up, and people who are planning to buy and hold for longer periods of time, someone like myself, will probably end up, going into Tranche 2. But again, so much of this depends on, is it worth it? And is the team doing their job of driving value to both SPS and vouchers to make those returns worth it? So that's all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.